Hey, what's up out there? It's Dave Duford here at Final Expense Agent Mentor, home of the very best final expense training you'll ever find on the internets. And today's topic is a question from my wonderful audience who subscribes to me. Thank you so much. If you haven't, hit the subscribe button. The question is as follows. Dave, I love selling over the phone. I think I'd like to join a final expense call center. What's that really like? Could you explain it to me? Well, I'll be happy to. So, of course, today's topic is selling final expense in the call center environment, what I think about it. So I want to talk to you first about what the call center environment is like, talk about some pros, talk about some cons, and then some takeaways and some recommendations as to which of the organizations out there you may want to consider contacting that I think do a good job. Okay, so call center environments are exactly what you think. You report into an office environment. Your leads are provided for you. There is a substantial amount of training, scripting that's involved in helping you get up and running. And overall, it is a very hands-on type of experience. In some circumstances, you may find that there are virtual ways to get involved in a call center environment. And that would be where you would do everything at home, but you have some kind of connection to the call center. Maybe you go in for training every once in a while, but you do everything from the comfort of your own home. Basically, it's selling over the phone, right? You're in a call center environment, but there's a lot more hands-on help that you'll see from final expense call centers than you would, I would think, and many times, even in a traditional face-to-face environment. I think that's one of the biggest pros that a final expense call center is able to offer its agents, is that when you're on the phone, dialing away, grinding away, making sales, making closes, usually all your calls are recorded for compliance. And then if you've run into issues, there is a potential that you have some kind of senior trainer, manager, or person who's involved in helping you succeed that can help identify where your weaknesses are and how you can improve. So there's a lot more hands-on training, ability. Whereas even with me and my organization, I train an agent, we go out one day, maybe two, and that's it. Of course, you get to call me on the phone. I'll take your text messages and emails and all that jazz, of course, and that's helpful. But it's not the same as having that kind of firsthand experience. Some people need that. Some people need less of that. Other pros, of course, your leads are all free. You don't have to go pitch, figure out which lead vendor is going to work, how's it going to be. Many times you get unlimited leads, assuming you're actually selling them, of course. That's kind of a big thing. The leads are usually generated are fresh, although you may have to work some old leads too. The call centers buy a bunch of television-based leads. They buy Facebook, internet-related leads, and sometimes they'll use partnerships with like or similar vendors like diabetic supply companies to get leads too. So it's a great environment if you just want to go in. You care about what you make, but not so much, and you want to go in and just sell. And you like the idea of having that added support, and especially if the appeal of selling over the phone is something that's firsthand to you. I think that's the biggest thing that attracts someone to telesales is that they just prefer it. They're better on the phone than face-to-face. I've been in this business long enough that there are some people who do better over the phone, just as there are some people who do better face-to-face, and we have to play to our strengths. And I think that's the obvious benefit to working in a call center environment. The downsides, there are some downsides, I believe, and I think this is more a good telecenter, call center environment will agree with me here, that ultimately what they're looking for, like me, is the agent that best suits what their particular goals are. They want to create a culture that matches what's important to them, like the culture of a call center environment where there's more of a team approach, more interaction between employees. You want to have that in that environment, but there's people who aren't like that. They're lone wolves. I'm more like that personally. So the cons of working in a call center, first of all, is that you're not going to make potentially the same amount of take-home pay as you would face-to-face. Again, that's a huge variable. I know there's some call center people probably watching this saying, well, you can make more. Sure, that's true, if you're built for a call center environment. Generally speaking, to support the free leads, to support the training, to support the systems involved that a good call center operation has, you're going to make less per sale. Now, ideally, you would make that up on a multitude of sales over time. So hopefully there's ways to overcome that. Other cons include you're going to a call center. And I mean that not because of some sort of bad, juju with the call center. It's just that some people, especially attracted to final expense or insurance in general, don't want to sit in an office. They want to go out and have freedom to sell who they want to, when they want to, and how they want to. A good call center is going to have a lot more guidelines, a lot more standards, because it is an operation, and they want to make sure that that operation is followed successfully. So if you find yourself restricted creatively by having these onerous, in a box type of setups, I say all this tongue in cheek. If you really mean that, if you really don't like that, then a call center environment is probably not for you. You're going to prefer the traditional route, I would think, instead. So last little takeaways here. I mean, I think when it comes to selling final expense or life insurance, it's just really over the phone in a call center environment. You really have to be suited for it. I did a consultation sales training event over a day in the Midwest a couple of months ago. And this call center is huge. They generate hundreds of leads a day. They've got at least 50 to 100 sales staff constantly on the phones. It was cool. I was like, wow, this is a real life insurance business. And when I met with everybody, there's a lot of happy people that work there. And the reason they're happy is because they're able to operate in an environment that they feel comfortable with. They like selling over the phone. It's more suited to their personality type. And that's what this comes down to. I think the biggest takeaway when it comes to selling over the phone or face-to-face is that it all works some of the time for some people. Of course, for some people, this business is not meant for, that you won't find success in, and that's fine. But a part of this process is figuring out, are you suited better for phone sales, or are you suited better for face-to-face? And there is distinctions between those agents. In a call center environment, I think, will provide you a better outcome overall. So last couple of things, some recommendations. Some people ask me, okay, so I think I'm a final expense person, but I'd like to sell over the phone. I'm really prefer that versus face-to-face. Who would you recommend? Two that come into mind. The first one would be, I believe they're called Northstar. If you do a YouTube search for Northstar, you will see some videos that they have. They do a good job presenting themselves, and they'll show you how their business works, how their model works. They're very transparent relative to some of these other operations I've seen as well, which hasn't been a lot. I'm not a final expense telesales guy. I don't run a call center. I have no interest in it. I know what I'm good at, and that's face-to-face sales, and that's what I focus on. And then secondly, I would also look at Cody Asche's program. I know he had a telesales program for final expense agents, utilizing his leads at one point. I know he's got some in-house telesales operations too. I think he does Medicare, but I don't know to the extent that he does final expense in a virtual environment. I think both organizations I mentioned do have some virtual agents as well. They may be even expanding their call center horizon too. So, but I would reach out to both of them. Both of them are on YouTube. Just do a YouTube search for Cody Asche, Secure Agent Mentor, or Northstar. Again, I don't know their full name. Sorry, guys. But if you guys have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them below. Thumbs up this video if you like it. And feel free to tell me what your thoughts are on selling final expense over the phone if you've done it. It would be a great opportunity to share with people who are more geared toward that type of business and would prefer to do that than face-to-face sales. My name is Dave Duford at Final Expense Agent Mentor. Logging off. We'll check you later. Bye.